I'm Hannah from Hannah's Hobby. Today's tip is going to be how to cut your fabric. So I'm going to show you how you line it up on your mat and with your ruler. So the first thing you do when you cut your fabric is you want to make sure your fold of your fabric, most fabric is 42 inches wide. This fabric is folded in half. You want to make sure your ends, your top raw edges are lined up, and then you want to make sure that you have it laying as flat as possible. So you want to flatten it out as good as you can get it so there's no wrinkles in it. And then you want to take this folded edge of your fabric and pull it down to a line on your cutting mat, and that will make sure that you have a straight edge on the bottom so it's not crooked. And then you want to line your ruler up. This is one way to do it. So you would line your ruler up pick a line on your cutting mat and just use your ruler and make sure it's lined up at the top and at the bottom. And then you just take your rotary cutter and you want to keep it lined up the whole time, and you can cut that way. Another way you can do it is you can use your ruler, the lines on your ruler. So if you can see there's some lines on here, you could use that to measure. So if I wanted to cut a 2-inch piece of fabric here, I take my straight edge that's lined up on this line and it's lined up on this line. So that will tell you that it's going to be straight. So I'm going to take my ruler and find my 2-inch mark. So this would be my 2-inch line right here. I don't know if you can see it, but there's 1, 2. This would be my 2-inch line. So I'd line that ruler up on the edge of my fabric that I just cut, and I could cut that 2-inch strip just like that. Or I could take the ruler and I could measure over 2 inches on my cutting mat and line it up that way and cut. So there's 2 different ways you could use. You could use your ruler or your cutting mat to measure your fabric. You just line it up on the edge. If you're going to use your ruler or your cutting mat, depending on how wide you want your cut to be. So that's the tips on how to cut your fabric. If you have any questions, let me know. Like my Facebook page, comment below, let me know that you're watching. And if you have a project that you need done, just send me a message and I'll get back with you as soon as possible and we can work some details out. Have a nice night.